Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo is a national bestseller and a Good Morning America book club pick. Worth the hype? Hi, I'm Amanda, and this is Spineless Books, your one-stop shop for all things audiobook. So, Family Lore, what's it about? Is it a domestic drama? Is it a magic book? It's kind of a bit of both. Now, technically it falls under the category of magical realism, but I'll be honest, the magic is more a thing that you just need to know is there than an active part of the book. It follows the Martez sisters, and each one of them has sort of a special ability. For example, one can detect when someone is lying. It's like magic, but it's magic-ish, I would say. So if you're going to call it magical realism, I'd more refer to it as like magic-ish, realism-ish, maybe. But the main character of the story is a woman named Flor, and Flor's magic is that she gets this vibe or this feeling when someone's going to die, and then generally she dreams who it is. So she has a real sense, kind of has the ability to warn people when they're going to die, or at least like is aware, and it's an ability she possesses from the time that she's a child. So the whole book sort of takes off when Flor decides, and keep in mind in this book, Flor and her sisters are basically either in their late 60s or their early 70s, so we're not talking about like young women and children here, we're talking about like women who've lived their entire lives. But the book takes off when Flor announces that she would like to start having living wakes for each of the sisters, and she's going to go first. So, of course, the minute the woman in the family who knows when people are going to die says, hey, let's all have living wakes, everyone starts wondering what is going on. Does she know something? Has she foreseen her own death? Has she foreseen the death of someone else? So, great plot as far as getting people started and having a really serious conflict. Way to go there, Elizabeth Acevedo. Now, the narration in this book, honestly, is garbled at best. It's narrated by Elizabeth Acevedo, the author, and it's also narrated by two other women. I have to look because I'm not going to remember the second name, but Sixta Morel and Daniele Rodriguez del Orbe. So, honestly, I felt like all the characters sounded identical, and it was the narration, but it was also the writing. I really wasn't able to distinguish one sister from the next, and then there's like a next generation in it, so I didn't know, like, am I listening to a daughter? Am I listening to a sister? Flor, for me, was the only character that I could pull out amongst all of them, and I just didn't grab anybody. I wasn't retaining who was who, and half the time that I was listening, I really didn't understand who it was I was listening to, and I had to kind of keep checking, which made it tedious for me. One of the odd things for me about this book was I kept feeling like perhaps it would be easier to read on paper. Now, I really don't read on paper. Like, I exclusively listen to audiobooks. So for me to think maybe if I was seeing it, it would be better, I don't really know what that says. I mean, does that say that it's okay as a book? Does that say that it's just not a good audiobook? Was it not a well-produced audiobook? I don't know. It's really hard to say. Had the narration been different, would the writing have stood up, or would the narration actually have unfairly helped the writing, whereas in this case, I don't think it did. So I promise there will never be spoilers that are undisclosed or undeclared on this channel, but here's the truth. This book, Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo, it's my first DNF of 2024. I did not finish this book. I got to this moment where I was reading, listening, however you want to refer to audiobooks, and I just suddenly had no idea what was happening. And I thought, okay, I don't know who's talking. I don't know who I'm listening to. I don't know who they're talking to, but I have a really clear sense of one thing. And that one thing was that I was nearing the end of the book. I was like, I got it. I'm there. It's going to wrap up. Maybe this hasn't been the most fun, but I'm approaching the ending, and at least there's that. And then I looked at the time on the book, and I was not yet halfway. And I just thought to myself, I could push through this and I could force myself to continue something that I'm not enjoying, or I could move on and I can listen to something that I like more. So as hard as it was for me to say DNF for this one, I did it, and I'm really glad, because truthfully the next book I picked up was great, and I didn't miss this book at all. So here's where I need your help. If you've read this book and enjoyed it, please tell me why. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what I'm missing. And, I'm open to giving it another try if I hear some compelling reasons, or let me know if you finished it and I was right to DNF. So tell me how you feel. I don't really see a reason to go back to this book, but I'm willing to change my mind if somebody can tell me exactly why they think I should continue. So again, Elizabeth Acevedo's Family Lore, my very first DNF of 2024, and can't tell you how it ends, folks, because I don't know. But remember, you might love what I hate and hate what I love, so make your own opinion, but thanks for listening to mine. See you next time.